Today we have some very interesting mice from Amkette. The XS Flow Plus has a design that you might have seen before, and the XS Flow 2 is a more refined version of the same feature set. This one comes in for 2300 rupees and you can get this one for 3300 rupees, and they actually offer a lot for their price point. While you may dismiss one of these as a cheap copy of the MX Master, it's actually better than the MX Master in one very important area. Both of these are tri-mode mice, so we have Bluetooth, 2.4 GHz wireless and wired connection here. You can switch between 3 connected Bluetooth devices easily, and you can basically connect them to any device, even your TVs. The biggest advantage on these mice is that the sensors on both of them have a polling rate of 1000 Hz, and that is such a massive jump from the abysmal excuse of a connection that the MX Master 3 and even the new MX Master 4 have, which only support 125 Hz. I almost have a personal grudge with Logitech about this because a lot of us are using high refresh rate monitors these days, and the MX Master just feels slow, sluggish and laggy that it nullifies the advantage of a good monitor. The XS Flow Plus has an instant S203 sensor with a DPI of 6400, while the XS Flow 2 comes with a PAW3220 sensor with 8000 DPI. They really feel much smoother and responsive than the MX Master series, and both of them also have PTFE feet under them, so the glide is also very smooth. Now I tested their polling rate and that is actually 1000 Hz, but not all 1000 Hz sensors are the same, and when I compared it with my Razer Basilisk V3, I could feel that the Razer gaming mouse has a smoother movement. You can actually use these mice for gaming, but the performance isn't quite as good as a dedicated gaming mouse that costs a lot more. Still, for everyday desktop usage, these are really great. The XS Flow Plus has a shape that is identical to the MX Master 3, and it is actually super comfortable to use. If you are looking for the most ergonomic shape in a mouse, I don't think that you can get anything better in this price range. We do have silent buttons here, and they are a bit noisy and a bit rubbery on this mouse, but overall this mouse feels good to operate. Just like the MX Master, we also have extra side buttons here at the exact same position, and they have even added a button on the thumb rest position. The scroll wheel does have a metal surface with a similar texture. It feels fine to operate, though it does feel like the scroll wheel is a bit recessed here. You will get used to this over time. The horizontal wheel on the side is better, and just having a horizontal scroll wheel at this price is so amazing. This really makes horizontal scrolling much more accessible, and this even has a Hall effect sensor. Overall, I have to say that just getting the ergonomics of the MX Master 3 at this price is a huge win for this mouse, and its shape is actually even better than their more expensive XS Flow 2. However, the buttons and the scroll wheel aren't as good as the Flow 2. Do give this video a thumbs up and let's see what we get when you spend an extra 1000 rupees. The XS Flow 2 Speed is a seriously better mouse. The shape is not the same as the MX Master, but it's still very comfortable to hold and use. It also looks nice with its rose gold, black and coffee colored aesthetics. The mouse buttons are completely silent and these feel better than the XS Flow Plus. We again have these side buttons here that can be customized, and they are a little too easy to press, but it is not an issue. This actually lacks one extra button on the thumb rest like on the XS Flow Plus, though we do have that extra button on the underside of the mouse, which is surprisingly also customizable. The highlight feature here is its scroll wheel, which mimics the magnetic scroll wheel on the MX Master very closely, and I got really surprised by how close this feels to the wheel on the MX Master 3. You can flick it to engage the hyper fast free scroll mode, and that also works very well. There is more metal here, so it also has more inertia than the XS Flow Plus. There is no switch to make it completely frictionless like the MX Master wheel, but what we have here also works very well, especially for the price. Unlike the XS Flow Plus, the scroll wheel is placed just at the right spot, so it is very easy to operate. The sideways scroll wheel also functions as expected. It is placed slightly towards the backside, but it is still accessible. This is a more compact mouse, so it is also more travel friendly. Both of these mice come with a web software, so you won't need to install any app on your PC, and with onboard memory, they will also carry over their configuration to other devices. The software in general works well, and you can set different functions to the button and control the sensor and the lighting. Because they don't have an app that constantly runs on your PC, they also don't feature an automatic switching of profiles by detecting which app you are using. You can have different profiles saved and switch between them manually. The auto detection of apps is only available with few brands like Logitech and Razer, so I am not saying that it is a negative. I didn't test the battery on these, but Amkette says that they will last for 40 hours of use and you can charge them up in just 2 hours. So both of these mice are good buys in their price range. I do like the XS Flow 2 better because of its better clicks and wheel, but if you are looking for the legendary shape of the MX Master series, then the XS Flow Plus is also a great choice at a lower price. These will not actually replace the MX Master for me because the scroll wheel and the software is still better on Logitech, but if we just look at these mice in isolation, they are completely fine and they do track much better than this much more expensive Logitech lineup. So feel free to share your thoughts or questions about these in the comments. I'll have the links to check these out in the description. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.